Am I the asshole for bringing attention to my parents' favoritism of my sister in a public way? My parents have my sister Amy, 17F, and me, 15F. They always liked Amy more. I'm not sure why. I don't know if I'm not their real kid or if they only wanted one kid and I ruined everything, but they pay so much attention to Amy, show her so much love, support her and everything, and I get nothing from them. My support comes from a couple of extended family members and friends' parents. Examples. Amy, since she was in elementary school, got to pick what summer camp she went to, and she never got told no for where she wanted to go. I was never given a choice. Some years I went to the local free one during the day and other years I went to no summer camp at all. When Amy turned 8, she got a bedroom makeover and was given her own TV, a cool new bed, a desk space and a new computer, and they put a mini fridge in it, all in pink to match her favorite color. I still don't have any of that stuff. The laptop I'm using now was a gift from a family member. When I turned 8, I was given used dolls from the thrift store that were from the dollar store. I saw them enough times to remember. Some were even broken with missing limbs or hair that was half pulled out. My parents will buy Amy pizza or Taco Bell as a treat for being a good daughter and being their special girl, and it happens at least 3 times a month where she gets it just because. I never get it just because. I don't even get it for doing good in a test like she would. They spoil her whenever she does good in a test. I never get spoiled. They told Amy they have money saved for her future. They never told me that. I brought it up to my parents before, but they brushed me off, even when I cried. My mom told me to stop being so childish. That's why when my parents had a party Saturday for Dad's birthday and they started boasting about Amy and how great her grades were, I kind of lost my temper and asked about me. I pointed out my grades were actually better than hers. But they never talk about me like that. I asked why they only talk about Amy. Why is she their favorite? Why don't they care more about me? My uncle, Dad's brother, said out loud that I have a point. But stuff got awkward after and my parents yelled at me for doing that. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. When you're an adult and ready to leave, don't look back. Go NC with them and have a great life without them. And if they see how successful you are and ask for a handout, tell them you have nothing to give to them. That's me being petty, but they don't deserve it. Info. What is your relationship like with your sister? You don't mention it, but does she act like a spoiled princess and bully you, or does she see that she's more favored and try to make it up to you? Not the asshole. I don't know what is going on with your parents, but this is definitely a form of abuse. Make sure to talk to someone at your school about this, like a counselor. They might be able to help you get some help, especially with planning your financial future with regard to education. The day you turn 18, leave and go NC, but first tell them you took a DNA test and are disgusted with your mother. No reason not to burn a bridge if it leads to a dumpster fire. Not the asshole. They're overdue for public exposure for private abuse. They're the ones who introduced the subject of grades. All you did was reveal the truth. They're angry because they lack any acceptable excuse. Not the asshole. I was prepared to dismiss your complaint, but it sounds serious. Do you really have no college fund or bedroom furniture while she does? Do they really never praise your grades or reward you in a comparable way to sister? If so, that is bizarre and inappropriate. Maybe discuss with the uncle who thinks you have a point, unless your parents are willing to listen again and hear you out. Good luck. Just wait. Amy is going to screw up big time in the future. That is when she or your parents will contact you and tell you to help Amy. Of course, you should say number. Then you will get the, but it's family, line. You should go NC as soon as you can. Do your best to excel and try to make sure they never get your contact info. Am I the asshole for hiding my child's savings account from my ex and not letting him contribute? My ex and I divorced 8 years ago. We have a 12-year-old son together. We don't discuss finances other than child support. I don't care for any money he may or may not give to our child directly. Years ago I opened a savings account for my kid. I religiously transfer a set amount plus child benefit into it every single month. I also put some loose change in there whenever I can. My kid knows of this account and gets to decide if any monetary gifts from family and friends are to be spent immediately or added to his growing savings. He doesn't keep tabs on the account, but has a rough idea of how much he gets every month and how much he's got already. My son must have told my ex about the account, because my ex approached me about it. He asked to see the account, I refused. He asked to at least know the exact amount. He has a rough idea, I refused. I don't see the point. He asked to contribute and become a co-owner, as in the account is to be, from mom and dad. I asked if he'd like to make a big initial payment. He doesn't, as he doesn't have that kind of money to just throw into an account nobody can access for years. He just wants to join in now and throw in some cash here and there, but the amount that's already in there is to be overlooked. I refused. He told me that I can only afford that thanks to his child support contributions. I told him that the child support is his duty and is spent on our son's current needs, not for him to hold it over my head. He called me a jerk for not telling him about the account when I first opened it, because now he's 8 years behind and won't be able to match it, and it will look bad when my kid grows up and only gets my support. I told him that it's up to him whether or not he invests in our child's future. He still has a long time to save something if he so wishes. He told me I was a jerk for purposefully making him look like a bad dad, for not having thought of something like this. I don't think it's fair of him to ask to jump in and claim to have contributed to the savings I've worked hard on for years, but now I wonder if I actually acted like an asshole for creating a situation in which I look like the better and more caring parent. Should I have told him about it when I first opened the account? Should I just let him contribute to keep the peace? The money is going to end up in my son's account anyway, no matter if he receives payments from 2 savings accounts or just one. Edit 1. I thought I'd add, since this concern has already been raised a few times in the comments, it's an ISA nobody can withdraw money from until my child's 18th birthday. Though I'm not sure he knows that, so I'm not too worried about any potential theft. It's more of a power play issue. Not the asshole. You've done nothing wrong. In fact, I think his reaction to this realization that the account exists is all the proof you need to know. It would have been bad for him to be involved from the beginning. If he can contribute to it, he can withdraw from it too, I believe. Minimally, it would introduce questions around who really provided that, and it would give him some more say in how it is spent. Keep firm boundaries. He is in no way disadvantaged here. He can start his own savings account for the kid, either large or small. It is absurdly unreasonable for him to expect you to share it with him now. Edit. It's also a common but faulty critique for people who pay child support to act like everything the recipient can do financially is because of that contribution. Pay no mind. Not the asshole. Also, some possible red flags in the fact that he doesn't just want to contribute to the savings but wants to be the co-owner and know how much money is in there. It comes to mind for me to make sure this money is protected for your child and cannot be accessed by anyone else. Not the asshole. Is he banned from banks or something? If it's so important to him to contribute money, then why didn't he open an account years ago? What bothers me is him saying that you were only able to open the account because of his child support contributions. As if he should only contribute to child support to the extent it keeps you and your child out of abject poverty, and that anything he contributes is him being generous, rather than his obligation to contribute to the support of his own child. Not the asshole. There is no reason for him to be on that account. If he is adult enough to make a child, he is adult enough to know that he could have made an account for his child at any time. He can do so now, or he can give you money to put in the account for his child. And the reason he can't open one on his own and contribute is? Am I the asshole for buying my own dinner because I don't like what the in-laws order? I'd like to preface by saying that I am not a picky person. I don't just turn down food. I'm always willing to try new things, even if they're weird or unconventional. One of my favorite things to do is to pick out something I've never tried in the grocery store. But my in-laws are hooked on this one take-in baked pizza joint that I just cannot stand. I've tried to like it. I've ordered so many different things off of their menu. I just don't like it. They order it for every single family event, every get-together, every holiday, every birthday. I started ordering my own meals to bring to the parties. They got upset when they realized what I was doing. I explained that I like ordering my own food, because it's a chance to get a treat for myself that I don't normally order. Still, they're always trying to convince my partner to get me to change my mind and just eat the same pizza as everyone else. This Halloween, we'd all planned to get together for a Halloween party. My partner and I had actually planned out a fun homemade meal, pasta bar, for everyone, but mother-in-law became very upset that we weren't getting pizza. She put her foot down so hard that we thought there'd be an actual honest-to-God fight about it, so we told her she could order the take-in bake she wanted. And of course, I was going to run to the store and get my own favorite pizza. She became significant other angry. She insisted that I eat what she ordered, what everyone else was eating, and even offered to buy me anything that sounded good off the menu. I told her again that I don't like anything on the menu and that I'm perfectly willing to go and buy something that I do enjoy instead. She's still angry with me. Father-in-law is angry with me. They tried again and again to convince me, they always do, to get something off the take-in-bake menu. But I just don't like it. Am I the asshole for buying my own takeout instead of what's being served at the party? Edit because there's questions. My partner is always supportive of me and would never try to make me eat something I didn't like. He does stand up for me and tells them, just like I do, that I just don't like that place. He's a lot more confident about standing up than I am, to be honest. But even when he gets them to back down, the issue is brought back up the very next time we eat together. And yes, we were planning on hosting and cooking everything. We'd actually bought all of the ingredients already. But when she gets upset, it's a whole big thing that could last for days and ruin the whole party, so it's really a pick your battles thing. Have everyone together for Halloween? Or have a silly fight over pasta versus pizza and miss Halloween altogether trying to do damage control. It's a mess. My partner and I had actually planned out a fun homemade meal, pasta bar, for everyone. But mother-in-law became very upset that we weren't getting pizza. This is just plain rude of her, especially when she gets mad at you for getting your own food. Have you actually sat down with your in-laws and explained that you really, truly cannot stand the food from this restaurant? If you have, then they're the asshole for continuing to order from a place they know you hate. If you haven't, then you're still not the asshole, but by a very fine margin, because in the absence of giving them an honest explanation, you come off as someone who is being intentionally difficult by insisting on getting food from a different restaurant every time. It's okay not to like the same pizza place that your in-laws do. It's also okay for them to not like the same pizza place you do. What isn't okay is not being open about it. Not the asshole, so, they are mad at you for the same thing that they would not do? I would ask why through get so upset that you do not eat any pizza. You have tried different things many times from their place of choice. You do not like it. What more do they want or expect from you? Where is your partner in all of this? Are they saying something? I would not be going to their events anymore if they continue to act like this. So, you were offering to make what sounds like an awesome home-cooked meal for the family and she got irate about not having her crappy pizza? This is not okay. If she's going to insist that you have to eat what she wants at parties she hosts, then she should also eat what you serve at parties that you host. She's both a bad host and a bad guest, and I think your partner needs to stop standing for it. Info. Do they own shares in the take and bake place? Not the asshole. Seriously, this is weird behavior. Not the asshole. My in-laws love this one pizza place near their house. I've hated it since elementary school. I make it very clear I hate the pizza from there. When they order from there they make sure they get something else for me that I do like or let me know so I can grab food for myself from somewhere else on the way to them. That's what normal people do. Your in-laws sound unhinged. Am I the asshole for demanding my friend pays for the chair she broke? I have this friend who is pretty big. Like, 350 pounds or maybe a bit more, while everyone else in our circle is more on the slim side. I love her very much and want her to feel at home at my place, so I made sure that my new chairs at the dining table are safe for her to use. But then she didn't really find them comfortable. No armrests that would be tight to fit in or curved seats to press into her legs or anything, it was just that they weren't upholstered enough for her liking or something. So then she saw that nice comfy lounge chair in my living room and dragged it over to the table because she wanted to use it instead. I told her it might not be as sturdy as the chairs but she still wanted to use it. It's a designer chair, one of those cup-formed ones with thin brass legs, beautiful but not very stable. Got it at a designer outlet for $250 a few weeks ago. She sat down in it, all good. Then she raised one of her legs to put it on the rim of the chair and against the table. Okay. Then she decided to fold her other leg below her onto the chair and shifted her weight back into the left to do this, tilting the chair slightly back while holding onto the table to do this acrobatics. The chair creaked, and then the leg bent and broke and she crashed to the floor with it. My friend hurt her elbow and everyone was all over her and making her feel good that night, including me. We got her an ice pack and everything and no blame. She was clearly shocked and shaken, so it wasn't the time to talk about the chair. She blamed the chair for not being sturdy right away though and said many times how it sucks to be treated like this by the world. I didn't say much in that moment. But the next day I called her to ask about paying for the chair. See, it cost much and I didn't offer it to her, and she broke it? She's extremely angry now and our group of friends is split. Some say that I'm wrong because her weight isn't her fault and she should be able to do what she likes regardless. Otherwise it's discrimination, and also I should have told her absolutely not to sit on that chair if I wasn't sure it would support her. Some are on my side and say, she shouldn't have dragged a chair over that wasn't intended to be used at the table, and if she did, she should have just kept her feet on the floor as that clearly worked better, and that she knows her weight and associated issues best. I agree with the latter, and also want full price from her. I won't be able to replace the chair with the same model. The regular price is just too high and none are left at the outlet, but it was just a few weeks old, so I think I deserve the full price to get something else instead. Also, I'm just 120 pounds and I love her. But why would I have to buy only chairs that can support thrice my own weight? That's not how it works in my head. Am I the asshole for asking for €250 for the damaged chair? It can't be repaired either. Not the asshole who drags a decorative chair to the dining table when there are already enough chairs? Who leans back in an expensive, decorative chair? My kids get in trouble for leaning back in ordinary chairs at the table. This person has terrible manners, regardless of their weight, and broke your furniture while being rude and careless. Not the asshole. I'm not a fan of people saying, her weight isn't her fault. Listen, thyroid issue or not, she knows she's heavy and it's her responsibility to be careful with other people's furniture. Her weight may not be her fault, but her weight is part of her life and she needs to be more careful. She should absolutely pay for the chair she broke. If she's a real friend, that offering to pay would have been the first thing she did after she felt okay. Not the asshole. She didn't even break the chair from being too large for it. She broke the chair by sitting on it like a moron. She needs to keep her feet off other people's expensive furniture. Even if she weighed 90 pounds, not the asshole. She grabbed a chair she wasn't invited to. You suggested she not use it. She proceeded to use it, and in fact use it incorrectly. She consequently destroyed your property. Of course she should pay. Not the asshole. Even as someone who's fat, offering to pay would be the first thing I'd think of, after dying from embarrassment. Removing her weight from the equation, she broke something of yours and should pay or replace it. Hey op. Your friend is 350 pounds. I'm a big guy. I'm 220 pounds. I weigh a lot less than her, but I know not to raise my legs and lean back on random chairs. If I choose to do so, I am purposefully risking breaking the chair or purposefully trying to break the chair. It's a deliberate act of damage. Emo. Not only should you be getting a refund of what you spent, but she should be getting the chair at whatever cost it costs to buy it for you. Not the asshole.